Morning, glory, and evening grace, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. The Schumer Shutdown continues, and Speaker Mike Johnson gave a press conference this morning about it. Cut number 13 is the beginning of that presser.
Everyone needs to understand that 1.3 million active duty service members would be missing a paycheck. They'll get their check, thankfully, because President Trump has shown strong leadership. And under his direction, the Department of War has now redirected unspent funds to ensure that our troops are taken care of. And this is while Democrats are playing political games. Last night, they played some games. They stormed my office. Maybe you saw some of the video online that they themselves shared, or someone did. They berated a Capitol Police officer, screamed at him. He was just merely standing his post. Shows again their disdain for law enforcement, as we see all around the country, the Democrats and everyone in that party screaming, assaulting ICE officers. They did it right here in the Capitol last night. A few members of Congress went into the little foyer of my office and tore down a sign that I had up and just engaged in all sorts of political stunts and antics. They've been doing that every day now, and it shows their desperation. It also shows a very strong contrast between the party that is working for the people and trying to keep the government open and do the right thing, and the party that is engaging in all this nonsense.
Winston Churchill always said, trust the people. When he won elections, when he lost the election, he always said, trust the people. He got that from his father, Randolph Churchill, trust the people. I trust the people on the Schumer shutdown. There is no way to blame Republicans. There is no way to shift attention from the fact that the government isn't open. If you are missing a paycheck today because you're a civil servant, it's because the Democrats chose not to pay you. It is that simple. If you are finding yourself short, not making a car payment, hoping that the bank doesn't foreclose, hoping your kid's school tuition they'll give you a little bit of grace because you're a Fed, realize that was Chuck Schumer's decision. He voted again and again for continuing resolutions over the last many years. They don't add to spending. They don't detract from spending. They allow conversations to continue and negotiations to go forward. That's Chuck Schumer. If you're watching on the Salem News Channel, he's too old for this job. He's lost a step. He doesn't quite know what to do with the left wing of his party. But Mike Johnson knows what to do. Mike Johnson believes in clarity. Cut number 14.
Every single time the Republicans have voted to pay the troops, and by the way, all other federal employees, federal workers, and the Democrats have voted over and over to stop it. And the depressing irony of this, on this particular subject, among all others, is that the most pro-shutdown Democrats actually represent the most active duty service members back home, whom they have taken hostage in this insidious political game. And I want to give you a couple of examples, and this is the actual statistic of the 10 states with the largest military populations. 6 are represented each by 2 Democrats in the Senate who are withholding the paychecks. Here's the list. In California, it's home to 157,000 active duty personnel, the most in the country. Those stationed at Fort Hunter Liggett and Camp Pendleton and Edwards Air Force Base and Vandenberg Space Force Base and others will all miss a paycheck at the end of the month if Democrat obstruction continues. Now, this is worthy of note. Both California senators, Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla, are gleeful about this government shutdown. They agree with Chuck Schumer when he said very candidly just a few days ago, every day of the shutdown gets better for us. Who's the us? He's talking about Democrats. He thinks this is assisting their party and giving him political cover so he doesn't attract a Marxist challenger in his next Senate reelect. That's what this is about. So he thinks the government shutdown is allowing him to show a fight against President Trump and Republicans, and he is happy about that. And so are Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla, while service members are going without paychecks. Virginia. Virginia is home to 119,000 active duty personnel. It is the second most in the country. Those stationed at Naval Station Norfolk, Quantico, and Fort A.P. Hill and others will miss paychecks at the end of this month if this is not resolved. Both Virginia senators, Tim Kaine and Mark Warner, are playing political games with the paychecks of 119,000 service members. Georgia. Georgia's home to 65,000 active duty personnel. It's the 6th most in the country. Those stationed at Fort Benning, Fort Stewart, Moody Air Force Base, and others will miss paychecks. And just last week, this is so aggravating to us. It's so frustrating to us. It's so wrong We saw service members waiting hours in lines wrapped around the block at Georgia food pantries. And meanwhile, you've got both Georgia senators, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, have now voted 8 times against paying those heroes. In Washington, the state of Washington is home to 57,000 active duty personnel. It is the 7th most in the country. And those stationed at Fairchild Air Force Base and Naval Base Kitsap, Joint Base Lewis McChord, and others will miss paychecks. Both Washington senators, Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell, have repeatedly voted against pay for service members in the Evergreen State. Hawaii is home to 43,000 active duty personnel. It is the 8th most in the country. Those stationed at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, the Schofield Barracks, and others will miss paychecks. And both Hawaii senators, Mazie Hirono and Brian Schatz, have voted against paying soldiers stationed in Hawaii. And by the way, many of them are thousands of miles away from their families. Colorado is home to 35,000 active duty personnel, the 10th most in the country. And those stationed at Fort Carson, Buckley's Space Force Base, Peterson's Space Force Base, and others will miss paychecks. And you guessed it, both Democrat senators are from Colorado, John Hickenlooper and Michael Bennet, have voted against paying those troops in their state. And I just want to mention New York. It gets honorable mention. It isn't in the top 10, but the Empire State is home to 17,000 active duty personnel, the 17th most in the country. Those stationed at Fort Drum and Fort Hamilton and others will miss paychecks. And sadly, both New York senators, Kirsten Gillibrand and the architect of the shutdown himself, Chuck Schumer, can barely hide their delight that the government is closed and troops are not being paid.
Now, I believe that voters are smart, and I believe that no matter how much mainstream media attempts to obfuscate about what this is, it's a Schumer shutdown. He called this. He needs it. He's trying to keep AOC from challenging it in 2028 when he will be 78, completing his 54th year on the Hill. He doesn't know what to do if he's not on the Hill. Like Nancy Pelosi, he's getting old and angry. Can we play Nancy Pelosi one more time for fun? This was at the Capitol yesterday, cut number 16.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
Good for you, whoever you are who is asking that. Shut up. That's Nancy Pelosi. We like that part about Nancy Pelosi a lot. Abigail Spanberger is falling in the polls because her running mate for Attorney General wants to kill Republicans, and that came out, the Jones text. But Abigail Spanberger has got her own problems. Steve Guest, alumni of the Hugh Hewitt Show, uncovered some video of a previous congressional debate where Abigail Spanberger goes all in for physician-assisted suicide. Cut number 9.
I support, and I would support, legislation that legalizes the right to die with dignity of a person's choosing, and that would include allowing for medical providers to provide prescriptions for life-ending prescriptions in the cases of someone who's deemed medically competent to make that decision, mentally competent to make that decision. I oppose the ability of religious institutions to put their religious-based ideas on individuals and their healthcare choices and options. I believe that we should trust people to have relationships with their healthcare providers that lead them to make strong decisions based on their medical practices. And I do not believe that people should have the option to allow their own personal beliefs to dictate the type of medical care that they are providing their patients.
Let me explain that. She's against the First Amendment. She wants Catholic hospitals to have to provide assisted suicide, Catholic hospitals to have to provide abortion, Catholic nurses, Catholic doctors to do the same. They do not have to do that. The First Amendment protects their right of conscience.